Get ready for a jaw-dropping reveal about Kamala Harris's so-called family. Candace Owens has just dropped a bombshell that could change the way you see the vice president. Could Harris be lying about her own family background? Well, we're going to play the video, and what Candace uncovered will leave you questioning everything. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and smack the like button to help us out with the algorithm. All right. You won't believe what Candace Owens just dug up about Kamala Harris's family. Turns out things aren't quite adding up. And we're not talking about small inconsistencies here. We're talking about straight up lies that could blow up everything Harris has been claiming about herself. Guys, this gets crazy. You remember how Kamala has been pushing her Black woman in America narrative? Well, Candace had questions, and so should you. Harris's mother was Indian and her father was Jamaican. Does that make her a Black American? According to Candace, not so fast. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. Candace went full-on investigative mode and uncovered something that might just blow this whole thing out of the water about Kamala. Seriously, she found a photo in Kamala's own book of Kamala with her so-called grandmother. But there's one tiny problem. Kamala's grandmother died in 1960, 4 years before Kamala was even born. And in that picture, Kamala is an adult woman. All right, sit back and watch because Candace, as always, brings the receipts. The video is about 10 minutes long. It is so worth it. There's so much in there. Give it a watch.
Find any evidence that Kamala Harris is Black. So I said, I'm going to pause everything and do a deep dive on Kamala Harris's genealogy. And what I discovered is so shocking. Okay. So first, let's start with just Kamala Harris's birth certificate. This is it. This is an authentic copy of it. It's already been discussed. You can see in the corner there that we have highlighted on her mother is her mother's name is an Indian name, Shailamala Gopalan, and under color or race of mother, her mother has put Caucasian. Extremely controversial, but we don't need to focus on the mother because the mother, everyone accepts the mother is not Black at all, right? So if she's some part Caucasian, majority Indian, everyone accepts that the mother is not the claim to her Black heritage, it is the father. On the bottom there, you can see that it says that her father's name is Donald Jasper Harris and that the color or the race of the father is listed as Jamaican, okay? So you can be Jamaican, you can grow up in Jamaica and not be Black, obviously. It's like Elon Musk, like he was born and raised in Africa. It would be absurd for Elon Musk to say that he was Black because he is not Black. He is a white African. So I wanted to go further
Where do you hear
into
this, guys?
Donald Jasper Harris, allegedly born in Jamaica in 1938. He has indicated that someone in his family is Black. So who are his parents, okay? So this is Kamala's dad, Donald Harris. We're looking now into Kamala's grandparents. The grandparents' names are Beryl Christie Finnegan Harris and Oscar Joseph Brown Harris. So let's start with Beryl. Let's start with her grandmother. This is an alleged photo of Beryl Christie Harris, okay? It is the only one that exists in the public domain, and I want you guys to know that it was presented by Kamala herself. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, like where did this photo come from? Actually, Kamala is the one that entered this into the public domain in her book, which is entitled The Truths We Hold, which was published in 2019. So looking at this woman, she looks Black and she wrote, visiting my paternal grandmother, Beryl, in Jamaica, okay? Now, when I saw this, I assumed it was a fake photo and I assumed that somebody had put it up other than Kamala because just doing a very brief search, and then I triple, quadruple checked this across multiple websites, genealogy websites, and genealogists, that can't be Kamala's grandmother. Let's pull up a picture of her again. That can't be Kamala's grandmother because at least according to my research, Grandma Beryl died before Kamala was born. And now I want the internet to fact check this with me. This is wild, okay? Beryl was born in 1921 and she died in 1960, okay? I've checked grave sites everywhere. This is it's not exactly a very common name and not an exactly very common place specifically where she was born, St. Anne's Parish in Jamaica. That would mean that Beryl had Kamala's father when she was just 7.
Does that woman in the picture look like she's 39 years old? I don't think so.
17 years old in 1938, and she died when she was just 39 years old. The Black woman in that photo is not 39 years old. So this is a major discrepancy, okay? And this is just a tiny bit of digging. I went, wait a second. Does anybody realize that
so much more.
Beryl allegedly died when she was 39 years old in 1960? That means that Kamala would have been born 4 years after her grandmother died in 1964. 1964 is when Kamala was born. Her grandmother died in 1960. So who is that woman that is in the photo with Kamala, okay? Beryl Finnegan, now looking more into her grandmother, was definitively not Black. Now, how do we know this? Because Beryl, that woman that you just saw, her father was Patrick Alhanasus Finnegan, who was an Irish slaver, okay? So that woman that you just saw, at a bare minimum, has to be half
Kamala comes from a slave owner family.
white.
It gets worse,
Irish
guys.
slaver is who her father was. Doesn't look like that. Maybe that Irish slaver married a super duper Black woman. I don't know, but I know that that is not a picture of Beryl, and I know that Beryl is at a minimum half white, okay? Because the father was an Irish slaver. Now, what about Kamala's grandfather? The other side of this, Oscar Joseph Brown Harris is his name. That's allegedly who Beryl married, right? Okay. What I've learned about him, this is the photo that they have produced of him. That's supposed to be her grandfather. What I've learned about Oscar was that he was born in 1914. Brown was his mother's maiden name. His mother was a woman named Christiana Brown, who was known as Miss Chrissy. Christiana Brown's father was also a white Irish slave trader named Colonel Hamilton Brown. That is the white Irish slave trader named Colonel Brown. He married an indentured servant, an Irish woman named Kate Williams, presumably Catherine Williams. And let me tell you how wealthy her family was. Colonel Hamilton established the town that they lived in. It was called Hamilton Town. It's now called Browntown. And
I grew up in a middle-class family.
He owned, at a minimum, 1,120 slaves, according to records.
Wow.
Okay? So they were a family of wealthy Irish slave traders. But now let's go back to that photo again. Who is this with Kamala Harris that is wrongly assumed to be her grandmother? Again, you guys can fact check me. I was going, this is just weird. How did nobody notice this? Well, that woman looks an awful lot like a slightly younger version of somebody that we are told is Kamala's great-grandmother, okay? A woman named Ora Iris Finnegan Allen.
Now, if that's true, guys, why did Kamala skip over that her grandmother and say that that was her grandma?
So that face looks just like the woman that we just saw, but slightly older. Now, let's go back again to that photo of the Beryl, who's definitely not Beryl. Okay, and let's go forward here so you guys can get this in your head. That looks like the same woman to me, okay? But this woman is allegedly her great-grandmother, who is known as Miss Iris, okay? So pull up Miss Iris again, the great-grandmother who Kamala is allegedly on her lap. We can all agree that that woman looks to be at least some percentage Black, and it's about to get weird, okay? So first, just so we are clear, even if this woman was 100% Black, that would make Kamala majority Irish white. She would be majority white. So it's completely crazy.
And she's trying to come off that she is a Black American because she's trying to cozy up to the Black vote. But Black people remember what their lives were like under Trump, okay? And they know what their lives are now under Harris Biden.
That she would suddenly claw out and pretend that she's Black, okay? If she was 100% that woman, great-grandmother, if she was 100% Black, that would make Kamala 12% Black under a best-case scenario. But I thought, okay.
That should be her new nickname, 12%.
That's Miss Iris. She's saying that's her great-grandmother. Let me, verify that Miss Iris was fully Black. And a way to do that would be to take a look at Miss Iris's children, Now, to be clear, she allegedly had 4 children. So we have Kamala's missing grandmother, Beryl, who allegedly died at the age of 39, as well as some of Kamala's great uncles and great aunts. And their names were Abraham Judah Finnegan, Noel Finnegan, and Bernard Finnegan, okay? So Beryl, the missing grandma, has 3 siblings, Abraham, Judah Finnegan, Noel Finnegan, and Bernard Finnegan. All of these people have apparently evaporated into thin air. Literally cannot find a single trace of these people who definitely do not have black names, okay? And I'm just going, I just want to see a picture here. So I'm going to put a bounty on it. I would like someone to do a little bit of due diligence here. Find me Beryl Finnegan and Beryl's 3 siblings, okay? A photo, anything, $1,000. You email it to info@CandaceOwens.com because I am telling you something is not right here. How did nobody realize that Beryl died in 1960 and Kamala in her book published a photo of a grandparent who she wasn't alive to meet, okay? Where is the real Beryl? I would like a photo of Beryl, a photo of any of Beryl's siblings literally disappeared without a trace. This is the only reason, okay, that people are convinced that Kamala must have some black in her family is because of these alleged relatives. And it's just ironic because her family is extraordinarily Irish white, extraordinarily wealthy slave owning descendants. And the only reason we have this image in our head, just like Trump said, suddenly she was black, is because Kamala's father in 2020, just after Kamala published that photo in her book, Kamala's father in 2020 similarly decided to publish an essay entitled Reflections of a Jamaican Father, where he only included in all of his white Irish slave-owning family, he only decided to include a photo of Miss Iris and Miss Chrissy.
And that's it.
Who look like the same person to me. Why would he do that? We got a big old family, got a ton of wealth. Everyone's got a slave. Why did you decide in 2020 to publish a photo of these 2 women, just like Kamala did in her book? I've got question marks. I don't know how it's possible that every time we are electing someone to office, they have a very shady family background. And
not Trump.
Hers is extremely shady. There's something weird here, okay? Beryl and siblings, huge question mark. I don't know. Abraham Judah does not sound to me like the blackest person in the world. And I'm going to need you guys to get on it, internet. $1,000 bounty. Email it to info@CandaceOwens.com, especially if you're in Jamaica. We got to be able to find something here.
And if Candace Owens is right about this, what else could Kamala be hiding? If she's willing to mislead the public about something as personal as her family background, what's stopping her from lying about bigger issues that would affect all of our lives if elected? We've all seen politicians bend the truth. I'm talking on both sides of the aisle. But when someone's entire identity is in question, that's a whole new level of dishonesty. It's no wonder people feel disconnected from the political elites who claim to represent them. And Harris, well, she's the poster child for this kind of disingenuous behavior. She's not trustworthy. This whole situation is a perfect example of why voters are craving authenticity. It's why they love Trump, man of the people. He doesn't bullshit you. Politicians like Kamala with their manufactured personas are a big part of why trust in our leaders is at an all-time low. We're done with the fake narratives and false identities. It's time for politicians to be real or get the hell out of the way. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with more exposés like this. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
Why do they lie every time they speak? A puppet on strings, feeding us to see. We're tired of the show, we're sick of the con, but they'll keep lying.